Well, I said the Hurricanes were going to be dangerous, and boy, were they dangerous. Blues march on, building nicely towards the finals. Highlanders win the first ever Super Rugby game in Tonga. Reds beat Crusaders for the first time in New Zealand since 1999. Holy! Chiefs in absolute cruise control, and Drua can't win on the road. What's happening with the Drua on the road? Before we get into Super Rugby Round 11 review, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, leave a comment. What did you think of this week's or the Round 11's games? Who stood out? What picks didn't go your way? Is your team still fighting? Is your team still going to make the finals? Let me know in the comments and hit that subscribe, baby. Let's go. All right, Hurricanes versus the TAHS. Oh, man, I said the Canes were going to be dangerous. They lost. They got the monkey off their back last week. They bounced back this week. So the monkey off the back as in they were winning everything. They hadn't lost yet. Last week they lost. Monkeys off their back. Pressure's off them. Now it's just go time, baby. And did they come out? Holy, 41-12 over the Waratahs. And I feel like there was a few tries left out on the field as well. Man, they're so relentless. They get into their work so quickly. What I love about their backs and forwards interplay is just they're so well connected. Everyone knows exactly where the person's going to be. I thought Peter Lakai was unreal with taking that ball to the line. So he's the 3. He's the main. He's the ball carrier here, like this guy. And then he's got 2 guys, one inside him, one outside him. And then he's got someone out the back. What he does really well is he goes right to the line. And he's either playing that short or out the back. And twice they went straight through whatever option he played. So the first time they played the short. And I think Flanders went straight through. And then Uose ended up scoring. And then the other time he done it, right to the line, played out the back. Brett Cameron, one more pass, and Rayasi scored in the corner. That's so good. And just those small little things, like everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing that. Forwards take the ball to the line, and then there's out the back plays. But Hurricanes, how they execute it, or how Peter Lakai especially executes it, is chef's kiss, man. And they were dominant, man. Oh, their back row depth is just unreal. And those 3 that played, Lakai, Flanders, and Uose, fantastic, man. So Lakai was 12 carries, 3 defenders beaten, 17 tackles. Braden Uose, 19 carries, 6 defenders beaten, 6 tackles. And Flanders was 7 carries, 3 defenders beaten, 9 tackles. Those 3 working together makes it hard for any opposition, man. I think what they do really well, Hurricanes as a whole, is create space for their back 3. That's their men. That's their lethal weapons. They've got such Morby, Ruben Love, Rayasi, Naholo. Like, you can just name these guys off. And all they need is a little bit of space and the ball. And it's game over, man. I thought Billy Proctor was outstanding. Straightens the line beautifully. Knows when to hit that short ball or out the back. So his distribution is fantastic, but it's just his knowledge of the game as well. So knowing when to do that. And that's kind of one of those things that's expected now from a centre. And he's been doing that so well, man. But I think the biggest thing for him is how he straightens the line. It's fantastic, man. Draws 2 or 3 players in, or he breaks the line. I mean, he goes through, and he was really good again. He was captain on the weekend, so he was 1 try assist, 12 carries, 74 run meters, 4 defenders beaten. Fantastic. And then I thought Rayasi was huge coming off the bench, 2 tries, 5 carries, 7 defenders beaten. He beat a defender and a half every time he touched the ball. That's what you want. That's impact for you, man. That's impact, man. So the Canes roll on. Waratahs totally shut out, man. They didn't run. They weren't running with as much intent as the Hurricanes were. Lungy Gleeson was probably the only one that kind of bent that line back a bit when he had the ball in hand. I thought the subs made a bit of a difference when they came on. Tane Edmead was coming in with a bit more energy, but it was tough. It was tough for them, man. There was no real no real standouts for me for the Waratahs, and it's getting real desperate for them. Only 2 wins for the season, 2 coming against the Crusaders, weirdly enough. And it doesn't get easier for them going forward. So tough one for them. It was always going to be a tough one for whoever played the Hurricanes after their first loss. But TAHS want to get a couple of wins in before the end of the season. Moving on, Rebels versus the Blues, 38-11 to the Blues in a convincing win, keeping Rebels scoreless in the second half. I thought, though, Rebels, with everything going on at the club, they still come out and just go, we're playing, man. We're playing to stay. We're playing like we're sweet. We're playing like a team that's been together forever. Like they still in that first half especially, they come out, they looked connected, a lot better with ball in hand. Yes, they lost the game pretty far at the end, but still, man, giving each game a crack, giving this game a good crack, run out a bit of gas in the second half of the last 20 more so, but you can at least see they're trying. You know what I mean? It would look bad if everything that was going on at the club with all the debt and whatever going in under the administration, and then the guys weren't having a go on the field as well, which you can understand, but they're not. They're really climbing in. And it doesn't get easier for them, though. Rebels, they've got Reds, Chiefs, Brumbies, Drua. That's tough, man. That is tough. I thought Josh Kemeny was massive for them. Strong carries and a pest at ruck time. He had 8 carries, 1 defender beaten, 18 tackles, and 1 turnover. For the Blues, really knuckled down when they were under pressure, man. Their forwards get them out of so much trouble. That pack just works so well together. Whether it's scrums, whether it's mauls, whether it's just pick and goes, whether it's defense in close quarters, man, they literally, that team like suffocates you up front, and then you got your guys out the back with the razzle dazzle. Oh man, I thought Tutu was immense again. More of a tough stuff game for him. Like, he's known for the flashy stuff, running the 50-meter tries, scoring 2 or 3 tries. But I feel like in this game he really knuckled down, and it's a good thing for him, especially from the All Black selectors side, seeing that not every game you're going to be full of flair and running, scoring the heaps of tries and try assists and stuff like that. But can you knuckle down as well? And he definitely did, man. He had 9 carries, 1 defender beaten, 11 tackles, and 2 turnovers. How good? Tutu, All Blacks, baby. We're getting that recall. Mark Talia, great again, the Mamba. In and around the rucks, he's deadly. When you see him then, you're like, wait, he's not the 9? And you're like, oh, fuck. He dances around. Can't touch it. That's Mark Talia in and around the ruck. Man, so good. 2 tries, 13 carries, 142 run meters, 8 defenders beaten. That's also almost every time he gets the ball, he's beating someone. You would hate to play against someone like that, man. Good, convincing win for the Blues on tour as well. So that's 2 from 2 so far. Fantastic for them, man. And they march on. MOANA versus Highlanders, 28-17 to the Highlanders. First ever Super Rugby game in Tonga. It was pissing down rain, but that did not stop the people from coming out, man. So many people there. So good to see. I put up a post of someone's uncle, man, doing forward flips, back flips, diving in the water. Love it, man. Love it. Nowhere else will you see it pissing down like that and the people out like that. So good to see. I thought both teams, regardless of the conditions, like it was raining. They both threw the ball around and wanted to play rugby, which is awesome to see, man. MOANA got stuck into the physical stuff. Like, they had their 9 go off very early, knocked out, and they scored right off that. Strong in their forwards up front. Good scrummaging as well. And I do think, though, that they had, although I'm saying they were like physical and with the tough stuff, but there's a few opportunities that they had that they couldn't turn into points, and you have every opportunity you get, you need to be scoring points, man. They turned defense into attack really well. There's a couple occasions there. I thought that was great. And then just like in most Moana games, they kind of drop off that last 20, man, or in patches. Might be the first 20 minutes in the second half. It's so crucial to stay in the game the whole 80 minutes, especially these games that you're eyeing out to win. Highlanders are kind of close to Moana on the table. You want to ice these games, man. And they just switch off in crucial moments of the game and it kind of slips away. I thought Willie Marvili was great for them. It doesn't matter at 10 or 15. His knowledge of the game is just high level, man. Knows when to inject himself in the back line when he was playing 15. And he's got a massive boot, that left boot, and that ball just goes forever. He was great. 1 try, 7 carries, 2 defenders beaten, 2 conversions, and 1 penalty kick for Havili. For the Highlanders, man, ball skills on show. Yeah, silky skills in the wet weather. Good. And then just like knocking it back down to basics. So ball out in front, running straight, drawing the player, draw, pass. Ball out in front, catch, pass. And it was beautiful. Balls all out in front in the bread basket. And so important in any game of rugby, in any conditions, in all conditions, but in wet weather conditions, a bit deeper, lovely passes in the bread basket. And there's a couple times, one time I think for Connor Garden Bishop's try down the blind side, just skip pass from Fakatava, drawn pass, man. Beautiful, silky skills. I thought the skill set then for Ratumai Tavuki Nepkins' second try, so I'm pretty sure it was Cam Miller, cross kick, Garden Bishop collected, grubber, pressing down rain, on full speed, Nepkins off his toes, picks it up, dives over. Beautiful, man. Beautiful skills in that weather. Fantastic to watch. And then Highlanders just knuckled down for the win. Strong up front, strong in the scrums, and just won those small battles, man. In that weather, did really well. I thought Fakatava was great, organised well, controlled that tempo of the game fantastically, knew when to kick it, knew when to play short, out the back. Great game for him. Cam Miller kicked really well. His out-of-hand kicks were good. He knew when to go for touch, went up and under, and his up and unders were perfectly weighted so it could be contestable. And then his goal kicking was great as well, kept that scoreboard ticking over. So he played really well. And then Jacob Ratumai Tavuki Nepkins, fantastic. 2 tries, 1 try assist, 7 carries, 1 defender beaten. Good win for the Highlanders away. That's 2 on the trot for them. Fantastic. Then we got to Crusaders Reds. What a game. I said before the game, I tweeted it, I feel like this is going to be a banger of a game. And boy, was it. It didn't look good at the start. There was a try disallowed, and Lee Halfpenny hooked his first kick at goal. And Reds go on to win 33-28. First time they've beaten Crusaders in New Zealand since 1999. That's wild. And that's a fact I actually looked up. The commentators were all saying it, so I didn't really look it up. I've just taken what they said as gospel. Man, what a game. Crusaders, I thought, got dominated quite often in contact areas early on, in rucks, tackles, carries, and then unforced errors. Their lineouts weren't firing. Yes, Scott Barrett went off early, and you could see the difference that made. They weren't winning their rucks, giving away soft penalties, allowing Reds into the game. They slowly started to gain momentum, kind of the back end of the game where Reds are usually drop off. But man, so I thought after last week's win for Crusaders that they would now go on and make a run to the finals again, but it doesn't look to be. I don't think Havili at 10, yes, the All Blacks wanted to see him there. He got charged down where he was in 2 minds, didn't know whether to run or kick. He hesitated that second, went for the kick, charged down, and Harry Wilson scored. So I don't know if that is working out. Yes, it could be like your 3rd, 4th stringer. If you need him in there, be great off the bench because he can cover both centres, fullback, and fly off if he has to. I thought Lever Aumua was fantastic. Really coming into his own in this Crusaders setup. Obviously, the preseason was a massive signing for them. Took a while to get going, the big Uzo, but he's done, man, so much better. And they're using him better as well. He's a big body. Use him that way. Give him the ball straight off the line out. Give him the ball to hit it up. That's what he does so well. Hits that ball up, gets over that advantage line, and that sets the team up for second, third phase because it knocks that defensive line back. You get fast ruck, so the ruck speed's quick. You can hit that second. The second phase is definitely getting over the advantage line then. And then it just rolls on, has a knock-on effect. And Almua was great with that. 14 carries, 12 defenders beaten, 66 run meter. So he's beating a defender pretty much every time he gets the ball. Give him more of the ball. Reds, how good, man. They come to play. Holy, very clinical in their jobs where Crusaders were not at all. Executing their plays, dominating contact, and then chancing their arm as well. That Tim Ryan's first try, I think every person in the Reds team touched the ball. They went that way, they come the whole way back, and not massive loop skip passes through the hands, man. Drawing players, always support players, always there, and then just keeping that ball alive. And it was great. Tim Ryan, is he just like, oh, Super Rugby's easy now? That's 5 tries in 2 games. Strike rate of the man. How good. I thought the props, Ravi and Tumonga Allen, fantastic. Dominating the Crusaders scrum. That doesn't always happen. But what they do around the park as well. Tumonga Allen scored a try. They both made 10 tackles. Then Ravi had 4 carries and Allen 3 carries. For 50 minutes from your prop forwards, let's go, man. Let's bang. That's why they only played 50 minutes. They'll be buggered after that. Get the new ones on there. Man, so good. Like I said, where Reds normally drop off the last 20 minutes, they just stuck in this game the whole game and won. They wanted to win this one. They're not getting close to winning again and then losing. They did really well, man. Great win. Harry Wilson, I thought, was fantastic. 1 try, 15 carries, 2 defenders beaten, and 15 tackles. Well, putting his hand up for Wallaby's selection for sure. Chiefs versus the Force, 56-7, an absolute thumping, man. The Chiefs get into their work, and they work so effectively, so efficiently, so good, man. I think the difference a quality 10 can have on a team as well, like, yes, your forwards need they set the platform, but when you've got a 10 that's on song, playing the best footy of his life, just pulling the strings, knowing when to play, where on the field to play, how to build that pressure by kicking to touch, kicking the ball down, or knowing when to play it. Could be on, we don't have to kick, let's play. And just his option taking is second to none, and then the execution on that as well. And then you've got the guys like Quintupai is getting over that advantage line, Anton Leonard-Brown as well. Nanai Saturo, Imoni Narawa, like Rona. Then Rona had a great game as well. Cortes Ratima inside you, like, and your forwards are just go on a roll going forward. Yes, it was against the Force. I don't care. You play what's in front of you, and Damien McKenzie right now, best player in Super Rugby at the moment. Fantastic, man. There was so many question marks around who's going to fill Mo'unga's boots in for the All Blacks. D-Max come out early and said, I'm playing for the Chiefs for 10 at 10. I want that All Blacks jumper, that 10 jumper, and give him the keys. Give him the keys, man. So good. He was 1 try assist, 4 defenders beaten, and 16 points, man. So good. Tupovai, when I talk about the forwards setting that platform, Tupovai is the one. Man, so good, so immense. Obviously his lineouts, but hitting that rucks. So much work he gets through. Rucks, tackles, ball carries as well. Fantastic. 1 try, 8 carries, 10 tackles. Fantastic. I thought Quintupai, good, really good, solid game. Good. He just needs to get more games under his belt, man. He's a unit, a perfect mold for a 12. 15 carries, 2 defenders beaten, 6 tackles, 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers. It's another flank on the field. Let's go, man. Western Force, man, spectators. They were spectators for that whole game pretty much. Like, that was a training run for Chiefs. No, I don't know where to go. Outplayed in all facets of the game. I thought Kirkley Beale tried his absolute dick off all night. 12 carries, 121 run meters, one defender beaten. But if your forwards are getting bullied, there's not much you can do in the back line, man. So back to the drawing board for the Force. That's a couple of losses in a row now. Oh, man, tough one there. And then the last game, Brumbies versus the Drua. 28-20, Brumbies get the win. Drua can't win on the road. They can't win away. I said at the start of the season, they're going to be fantastic at home, unbeaten. Yes, they've lost the game at home, but it's just whether they can pull it together away on the road. And they haven't really yet, man. Brumbies come out the gates screaming. 2 quick tries, dominating contact, getting over the advantage line. And that ruck speed, so difficult, man, to maintain or to try and tackle when you got those guys are just boom, 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 coming around the corner. And they just caught the Drua out big time first up. How good is it having Len Ikitau back? Man, since he's been back at 13, he's been great. Because I thought Crichton, who was at 13 before him, was good, strong. He's a big ball carrier, big unit. But Ikitau just adds that little bit of flavour to it, man. He's also big, strong, gets over the advantage line, bit shorter, but he's nippy. Get little step, little jink before contact, and strong in contact as well. And man, strong tackles too. It's great to see him back, getting in the mix, putting his hand up for clean slate as well. Eddie Jones didn't have him in the World Cup squad. Joe Schmidt's here. Man, I'm looking at Hunter Paisami and Len Ikitau in the centres for Australia, for the Wallabies. That is a centre pairing, man. Try and beat them. Try and get through them. That's nice. You got Paisami, who's now worked so much on his soft skills, becoming that distributor, because we know he can hit the ball up, get you over the advantage line, and tackles really well. But he's got the soft skills now. He's got the little kick. He's got the little skip pass or out the back. And then Len Ikitau, just brings that little bit more of X factor. It's also got that, you know what he can bring with ball in hand and strong defender, but it's got a nice little step, fend. He's got the offload. I'm looking at that, man. Ikitau was 2 tries, 5 carries, 1 defender beaten. Love that. I thought Jerome Brown played really well in the back row. Such a big body, gets around the park well, tackles, rucks, carries, really, really good. He's a fucking unit too, man. 1 try assist, 8 carries, 11 tackles, and 2 turnovers. Over to the Drua, man, they had a ton of opportunities first half, but just didn't convert into points. Couldn't convert into points. Finally did get reward just before half-time. Their forwards aiming up big time. It was a bit of a shock. We were kind of shell-shocked in the first 10 minutes because Brumbies come out firing, man. But I love how before the game, they were speaking to Stephen Larkham, coach of Brumbies, and he said that he was going to target the Drua's set piece. Yes, they might have got the edge over them in the lineouts, but Drua's scrum, holy, Brumbies were on ice skates in reverse gear massively. I thought Drua, despite losing, can take positives in that they won the second half. That's really good. Usually they'll drop off kind of into the back end of the second half where you kind of have to ice those games. And they won the second half against the Brumbies away. Their goal line defense was really good right at the back end of the game as well. And that just shows, man, they got a bit of ticker. They're fighting for each other. It's almost there that they need to click. They need to start clicking away. You need to start winning away games if you want to make finals. I thought Derry Nalangi, fantastic. Captain's knock, 1 try, 9 carries. Sorry, it's 1 I thought Derry Nalangi, fantastic. Captain's knock. I thought it was 1. He did really well. 1 try assist, 9 carries, 59 run meters, 3 defenders beaten, with 8 tackles as well. And then Ravu Tamanda, as always, doesn't matter where he plays. He was playing at fullback, 10 carries, 5 defenders beaten. He was really good. And that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of the round in the comments. Hit that subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.